Hello everyone, welcome to Advanced Knowledge Systems and a warm welcome to AKS IAS Academy. About me, I'm Sandeep Bhushan Tumala and I take up analysis of the Hindu newspaper, that is the daily newspaper analysis of today's, that is of 1st of April 2021. And throughout my session, I would be emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases from the Hindu newspaper, wherein we will identify the factual, analytical and conceptual questions which will be critical for UPSC prelims perspective. And while you imbibe the keywords and key phrases in your answer writing, that is for the mains examination, your answers would be precise and concise, and thereby you would score higher marks in the mains examination. So therefore, this session at AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis will certainly help you to crack both the prelims as well as mains for the year 2021. And before we get into the DNA of the newspaper, let's focus at the quote of the day. And the quote of the day says that your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow. So make sure that you are doing the work what you are supposed to do, and then the secret of getting ahead is getting started. So start today itself. Do not wait for tomorrow, because your future is created by what you do today and not tomorrow. And now we'll focus at the DNA of the newspaper. Here we would be focusing on the rate cuts on small saving instruments. So this is a decision taken by the government, and the government has slashed sharply the rates on the small saving instruments, and these rates have been slashed for the first quarter of 2021-2022, and this the government has come up with the notification on March 31st, 2021 to slash sharply the rates on the small saving instruments. So here the key phrase is small saving instruments. So we need to understand what are the small saving instruments which the government has decided to slash sharply the rates on the small saving instruments. And the notification brings the rate of returns, that is, it has slashed the rate cuts sharply on the provident or public provident fund. So we will now focus at the what are the small saving instruments wherein the rates have been cut by the government through a notification on March 31st, 2021. So the first one wherein the rates have been slashed is on the public provident fund, and the second one is on the 1-year term deposits, and also on the senior citizen savings scheme, Sukanya Samriddhi accounts, and then national savings certificates, and also on the Kisan Vikas Patra. Along with this, it has also slashed rates on the savings deposit. Along with the saving deposit, it has also slashed on the 5-year deposits and the 5-year recurring deposits. And these are the small saving instruments wherein the government has decided to slash the rate cuts for the first quarter of 2021-2022 through a notification. Please do understand, again I would reiterate, what are the small saving instruments are public provident fund, 1-year term deposits, senior citizen savings scheme, Sukanya Samriddhi account, national savings certificate, Kisan Vikas Patra, and saving deposits, 5-year deposits, and also the 5-year recurring deposits. And if you look at the other side of it is also the Kisan Vikas Patra, which earlier used to mature by 124 months, has been now increased, that the maturity of the Kisan Vikas Patra would be now 138 months. So these are the changes which the government has taken to slash sharply the rates on the small saving instruments. So I reiterate once again, the key phrase for UPSC prelims perspective is that you need to understand about small saving instruments from economy point of view. That what are the small saving instruments wherein the government has decided to cut the rates on the small saving instruments for the first quarter of 2021-2022 through a notification. And now we will look at what are the reasons the government has taken up to cut the interest rates. So the government generally what it does is it resets the interest rate on the small saving instruments every quarter. Please do understand, this is the basic understanding about how the government takes about or looks at the interest rates on the small saving instruments. So it does reset the rate cuts on the small saving instruments every quarter. So this is the conceptual understanding on the small saving instruments wherein the government resets the interest rates. So it is done every quarter by the government, but this time the amount of rate cuts is definitely it is amounting a significance. It assumes a significance because the government might have taken into consideration of taking up the rate cuts because it can impact the retail inflation. This is a keyword. So the retail inflation might breach the 6% mark, which is now it is, couple of instances we have seen, or in a very situations we have seen that the retail inflation has breached or gone beyond the 6% mark, and because of that it has assumed the significance because of the retail inflation breaching the 6%, and thereby the government is now keen to lower the interest rates so that it would have a control on the retail inflation, that it would not breach this 6%. So this is the conceptual understanding why the reasons why the government has taken up to cut the interest rates on the small saving instruments is because of the retail inflation, that it has breached 6% couple of instances, and that too the government is now keen to lower the interest rates to work or to have significant impact or to watch on the retail inflation. And these rate cuts will make the government easier to execute its borrowing plans. So another reason what the government or why the government has taken into consideration to cut the interest rates is to execute its borrowing plans. So first is on regards to it goes ahead or it resets every quarter, and because of the retail inflation breaching 6%, it has gone ahead with cutting the interest rates. And now the government, the third reason is because it makes the cut in interest rates on the small saving instruments makes the government easier to execute the borrowing plans and to spur the economic growth. And this, that is the high small saving rates earlier before the cut, it was high on the small saving rates. That means this has cited by the central bank as a major impediments. That is, it is a major hurdle in ensuring the policy rate cuts, which again gets transmitted into the banking system. And these are the reasons why the government has taken into consideration of cutting interest rates on the small saving instruments. So we need to understand about the small saving instruments, what are they, and the reasons why the cut in interest rates. We have seen breaching the or because of the retail inflation, which should not breach the 6% mark once again, and to execute the borrowing plans of the government to be easier, and that the high small saving rates are actually the major hurdles or the impediments for the ensuring of policy rate cuts, which again this gets transmitted into banking system. So this is crucial analysis which we have taken in regards to the economy UPSC perspective. We have looked at what are the small saving instruments which the government has cut rates, and also we have focused on the reasons why the government has taken the initiative to cut the interest rates. And now we will look at the another news wherein now the Pakistan has allowed import of cotton and sugar from India. So this is again a bilateral relations between India and Pakistan, and this we have looked at, or we will be looking at this, because Pakistan has reversed its decision to suspend all trade with India. So Pakistan has taken the decision to suspend all trade with India, and it has been announced by Pakistan on March 31, 2020, which it has actually taken into consideration after the government of India has gone ahead with abrogation of Article 370 and reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir. Then the Pakistan has decided, or Pakistan government has decided, to suspend all trade with India. But now it has reversed. Please do understand. Now partially reversing of the 2-year-old decision taken by Pakistan to suspend all trade with India has been reversed. And now by this reversing of the 2 years old decision on March 31st, 2021 would allow the import of cotton and sugar from across the border from India to Pakistan. And why there is a need, or why the Pakistan has taken up this decision to import the cotton and sugar from India is because there is a high demand for cotton and cotton yarn from India, especially from Pakistan, that is from Pakistan SMEs, that is small and medium enterprises in Pakistan do have a very high demand for cotton and cotton yarn, that is India's cotton, and that is the reason why, or one of the reason why it has gone ahead with suspending the 2-year-old decision and allowed to import the cotton and sugar. And along with this, the small and medium enterprises having the demand, there is an increased textile exports, and along with that there is a reduced crop in 2020 in Pakistan in regards to the cotton crop. So therefore the reduce, or the crop production has been reduced in Pakistan. At the same time, there is increase in textile exports, and there is high demand for cotton and cotton yarn from India, especially from Pakistan small and medium enterprises. That is why Pakistan has taken an initiative to allow the import of cotton and sugar. Especially in this, we were talking about or discussing about cotton. So along with the cotton, it has also agreed for sugar to be imported from India into Pakistan. And this decision, now what we have seen in regards to the import of cotton and sugar, is along the, or is on the sidelines of the LOC ceasefire, which was announced both by India and Pakistan on February, or in the month of February 2021. And this, that is the import of cotton and sugar, is part of a larger dialogue process, so that it would now fix to the ceasefire of 2003 along the LOC, and this would defreeze the ties between India and Pakistan, and it would create a congenial and conducive atmosphere between India and Pakistan to rebuild the bilateral relations between both the countries. And the decision, now we will look at why there was a 2-year-old decision was suspended by Pakistan. So that decision to suspend all the trade with India, which was taken by Pakistan, was taken up by the Imran Khan government on August 9, 2019, wherein the Indian government has amended the Article 370 or abrogated the Article 370, and it has also gone ahead with reorganizing the Jammu and Kashmir, that is bifurcating Jammu and Kashmir state into 2 union territories, that is the Jammu and Kashmir and the Ladakh union territory. So then the Pakistan, or the Imran Khan government, has taken a decision to cancel the trade with India. But now on March 31st, 2021, the Pakistan government has taken a partial decision to go ahead with importing of cotton and sugar. And then when Pakistan has gone ahead with suspending or cancelling the trade with India on August 9, 2019, India has not banned trade with Pakistan, but it suspended the LOC trade, cross LOC trade, and also it withdrew the most favored nation status to Pakistan because of the Pulwama attack in the February 2019 year. So therefore, there was a kind of tit for tat action in regards to the trade between India and Pakistan in the year 2019. So we would focus on the August 9, 2019 and February 2019. So on February, in the month of February 2019, it was India which has suspended the cross LOC trade and it withdrew the MFN status to Pakistan because of the Pulwama attack. And to this response, Pakistan on August 9, 2019, it has cancelled trade with India because India has gone ahead with abrogating of Article 370 and it has gone ahead with reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir state. So we have seen the background why the trade has been cancelled between India and Pakistan by Pakistan because of Article 370 and reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir by India, and why India has suspended the LOC trade and withdrew the MFN status to Pakistan from India's point of view is because of the Pulwama attack in the year February 2019. So this is the background which we have focused, that now the bilateral relations are definitely smoothening and it is becoming a conducive atmosphere because of both the governments or both the countries have gone ahead with announcing to restrict to the 2003 ceasefire agreement along the LOC between India and Pakistan. And the another news is in regards to a report submitted to the Supreme Court on the farm laws, which the Supreme Court has appointed a panel, and this panel was appointed by Supreme Court to look into the 3 agricultural reforms laws. And in turn, the panel which was appointed by the Supreme Court has gone ahead with submitting its report to the Supreme Court, but it was in a closed cover. And the 3 laws which were passed by the parliament, and there was hue and cry across India by the farmers, and still the farmers are agitating in northern India. Because of that, the Supreme Court has appointed a panel on the implementation of the 3 laws, that is the agricultural reform laws. And in turn, now we will look at what are the 3 laws which were passed by Parliament in September 2020 but were being opposed by the Farmers Union. So the first one which the government has passed, the agricultural laws, are the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act. And the second one is the Essential Commodities Act. And the third one is the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Act. So these are the 3 acts which were passed by the government or by the parliament in September 2020 but opposed by Farmers Union. Thereby, in turn, Supreme Court has appointed a panel to look into the agricultural reform laws, and that Supreme Court appointed panel has now submitted its report to the Supreme Court in a closed cover. In turn, now we are focused at the what are the 3 laws which were passed, that is the agricultural reform laws. And on January 12, 2021, the Supreme Court has taken a decision to suspend the implementation of the 3 laws which were passed by the Parliament in September 2020, and in turn, the Supreme Court has appointed a 4-member committee of experts, so that these 4-member committee of experts would go and then they would listen to the grievances of the farmers and also the views of the government, and in turn, they would make recommendation on the agricultural or 3 agricultural reform laws. And among the 4-member committee of experts which was appointed by the Supreme Court on January 12, 2021, one among the member of the 4-member committee, that is the Farmers Union leader Bhupender Singh Mann, has recused, or he has thought that it was not right to be on the panel because it was a kind of which he felt that it is not appropriate to be part of it. And then later on, once he has recused, out of the 4 members, it was the only 3 members which have met the various stakeholders to listen to the grievances of the farmers and also about the views of the government. And they have met various stakeholders, that is farmers group, farmer producer organizations, various government officials, and also they have met industry representatives from various states, and then they have come up with various recommendations, and that recommendations were submitted to the Supreme Court in a closed cover. So this is in regards to the polity. You can consider this in regards to the agricultural or 3 agricultural reforms laws, wherein the Supreme Court has appointed panel to listen to the grievances of the farmers and also to have or to consider the views of the government and make recommendations to the Supreme Court. And now we will look at the another news, which is in regards to the infrastructure plan which the US, that is the US President Joe Biden, has announced, the $2 trillion infrastructure plan. And the US President Joe Biden on March 31st, 2021, when he has visited Pittsburgh, he has announced a massive $2 trillion infrastructure plan. And this $2 trillion would be for the infrastructure plan for the next 8 years. That is 4 plus 4 years. So definitely Joe Biden might be in a mode that even after the first term, he would be again elected for the second term as the US president. But overall, he is very clear that he would, or the infrastructure plan would be spread over 8 years. That is a massive $2 billion or $2 trillion US dollars infrastructure plan. And the US legislation has called for American Jobs Plan. It has called for America's response to the climate crisis. And it has also called for the ambitions of the autocratic China. So the focus by the US legislation is in regards to the America's jobs, it is in regards to the climate crisis, and it is in regards to the autocratic approach of China. So these are the 3 areas which the legislation, US legislation, has focused. And in turn, US President Joe Biden has come up with a massive $2 trillion US dollar infrastructure plan, which would be spent over 8 years. And this infrastructure plan would be to rebuild America's infrastructure, that is in regards to the, or from roads to bridges, and from high-speed internet infrastructure to water pipes. So this is a broad understanding of the infrastructure plan, which the Joe Biden administration has gone ahead with a massive infrastructure plan of $2 trillion US dollar. And now we will look at this $2 trillion US dollars would be spent, or the infrastructure plan would include which among the following in regards to the America's infrastructure. So we will focus the how the infrastructure plan would rebuild America's infrastructure. So which are among the America's infrastructure, so that the $2 trillion US dollar would be used. It would be used for modernizing roads and bridges. It would be used for modernizing public transit, which could be buses, rapid bus transport, railway tracks and coaches. And it will be used for passenger and freight rail services and electric vehicles, drinking water infrastructure. And then this would replace all the lead pipes, and it would also be used for clean power, that is climate change, broadband and infrastructure, that is high-speed internet infrastructure. It would be also used for research and development, supply chain investment, and also the pandemic preparedness. And this infrastructure plan will also include home or community-based care for aging relatives and for differently abled people. So there is, the infrastructure plan includes various or includes a comprehensive, that is right from roads and bridges, high speed internet, water, and also climate change, and in regards to the research and development, along with the supply chain investment and pandemic preparedness. So this is crucial that the infrastructure plan includes what we have discussed, 9 areas where the infrastructure plan would include. And now we will look at the Joe Biden reform plan for the America's infrastructure, and this 2 trillion US dollar, massive 2 trillion US dollar for the America's infrastructure, how the Joe Biden is planning to fund or to make up this 2 trillion US dollars. So to fund the 2 trillion US dollars for America's infrastructure, Joe Biden is now reverse some of the tax cuts which were pushed by the Trump administration in the year 2013. So here he would reverse the tax cuts which were pushed by the Trump administration, and Joe Biden would reform, or Biden's reform will reverse the damage and fundamentally reform the way tax cut or tax code treats the largest corporations. So he would focus on the largest tax corporations. The second one, he would the reform plan of spending or funding the 2 trillion US dollars is in regards to reversing the tax code of the largest corporations. And he would also propose that there would be hike in the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%, and is also set to start a global minimum tax of 21%. And while he is seeking to set or to form or to come up with a global minimum tax of 21%, he is also encouraging other countries to apply for a strong minimum tax on corporations. So he is very much focused on largest corporations. So his reform plan is to reverse or to tax the largest corporation. Please do understand, his reform plan to fund the 2 trillion US dollars is to tax the largest corporations and to have a minimum tax of 21%, and is encouraging other countries to apply for a strong minimum tax of 21% on corporations. And he has also come up with that the foreign tax preferences for fossil fuel companies will be eliminated. So here the fossil fuel companies or the foreign tax preferences will be eliminated, which were earlier for the fossil fuel companies. And these are the 5 reform plans by the Joe Biden administration to fund the 2 trillion US dollars. 2 trillion US dollars for America's infrastructure. So you need to understand the conceptual understanding about the infrastructure or America's infrastructure of Joe Biden administration coming up with the 2 trillion US dollars. And the US Congress has passed the America's Rescue Plan of 1.9 trillion, and now the proposed infrastructure bill and the associated tax bill is likely to face opposition from the Republicans. That is, the Congress has passed the America's Rescue Plan of 1.9 trillion, but when it comes to the infrastructure bill and the associated tax bill, definitely it is likely to face from the Republicans in the US Congress. So what is that we need to focus along with the America's infrastructure plan and the Joe Biden reform plan to fund the 2 trillion US dollars is that America's Rescue Plan and America's proposed infrastructure bill, along with that the associated tax bill, that is in regards to the corporate tax rate, which he is proposing to hike it from 21% to 28%, and to set up a global minimum tax of 21% for corporations, and is also wanting other countries to encourage to apply for a strong minimum tax on corporations. So these are the ones which you need to focus about America's infrastructure, and Joe Biden is set to announce $2 trillion for America's infrastructure plan. And now we will look at another news which is in regards to retaining 4% inflation target. So now the government is now all set to retain what it has targeted itself of 4% of inflation, retail inflation. And now the government is certainly decided to retain the inflation target of 4% for RBI's rate panel, that is for the Monetary Policy Committee. So now the government has decided that it will set to 4%, and this would be plus or minus of 2%. So it would be, the target is 4%, so it can be 2% when it is minus, and it can be 6% when it is plus. So it is now have a tolerance band. Please do understand the keyword. It would now have the same limit of tolerance band of plus or minus 2 percentage points for the MPC, that is Monetary Policy Committee of the RBI, for the next forthcoming 5 years, that is from April 1st, 2021 to March 31st, 2026. The center has decided to retain the inflation target of 4% with a tolerance band of plus or minus 2 percentage points for the MPC. So this is the crucial information, that is the retail inflation is now decided, or the government has decided to retain it to 4% with a tolerance band of plus or minus 2%. And the economics across the country have welcomed the continuity of the tolerance band and the retail inflation target of 4%. And we have also experienced that in the recent past, we have seen that the high inflation has taken place and the inflation has gone beyond 6%, or it has breached the 6% quite few times in the recent past. But the 6% or the high inflation going beyond the 6% or breaching the 6% has been in the exceptional situation during the COVID-19 pandemic situation, and that too in the Indian economy. But still, taking into consideration, the government of India or the center has decided to continue the retail inflation of 4% for the coming 5 years, that is from April 1st, 2021 to March 31st, 2026. So this is from economy UPSC perspective of prelims on the 4% inflation target and tolerance band of plus or minus 2% of the Monetary Policy Committee of the RBI. So this information, I hope, was informative, knowledgeable, both critical for mains and prelims perspective of UPSC, and I would say a big thank you and a good luck to you all. And then do maintain consistency, stick to your schedule, and then take care of your physical health and mental health. And do not forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe the AKS IAS English Medium YouTube channel, and also have access to the website and the Telegram link of AKS IAS Academy. And then see you again tomorrow with the daily news analysis at AKS IAS Academy. Till then, thank you, goodbye, and then take care.